it's not. Okay, I'm back with part 2 with Betty Detterer, and she's showing me these records that her dad used to cut. How did he do that?
It was a record cutter, and we'd hit with microphones, and we'd play. My brother and sister, we'd have to sit down and we'd play, and he'd cut us off, and then he played and stuff. And he's got some with his mother that she lived almost 103. And she didn't have her mind, but when we'd go down to visit her, she didn't know who we were, nothing, but my dad would start singing in German, and she'd start singing, and she knew every verse and word of the whole song. And as soon as the song was over with, she'd stop. My dad would start another one, and he taped her off a lot of records.
Wow, so that's, and you
Yeah.
have all your old records
Yeah.
down there, and a
Yeah.
new record player that broke,
Yeah.
and your flowers and plants.
Yeah.
All right. And then your husband's Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. Tribute to Henry. He looks so young there.
Yeah, in fact, he's had a man made a record, a tape of his service, and he's in the book that he's done. So,
Wow. It's wonderful to record the stories of life
Yeah.
and his time in the Navy.
Yeah.
Are you in this?
No, those are all older when he was in the service, or
Before he met you.
Him and his sister and his brother.
And is this the farm that?
Yeah, that they were topping beets there and loading them up.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Let's turn and just see what. Oh, some old cars. Look at that. Is that before he goes off?
Yeah. He's probably home on furlough at that time.
Mm-hmm. Baling hay. Okay, what else do you think we'll find? Oh, those are some of the buildings that were painted in the photo you showed me, right? In the art.
Mm-hmm.
In the truck.
Uh-huh.
And is this the shed that was too long and almost fell on them?
Yeah, yeah.
And they used horses, or?
Well, at that time, yeah, when they first started here in 1939, 34. Oops. I don't know if there's anything in here. Oh. Well, here's his Navy buddy. We had all four
They're
of them.
looking like cowboys. Here.
Oh, yeah, they were from down Bayfield.
Now, what is that highway there? Wow.
Oh, I don't have no idea.
They just went out touring.
Yeah.
They went out touring. So it was a little bit of play, not all work.
Yeah. Yeah, when he came home, he said, well, in the wintertime, he was going to go down to see his Navy buddy. And then finally, we came back, well, when we got married then, there was a fella that was working in Greeley in a Dodge dealer. Henry had gone over and gotten the car greased, and he was talking to the one mechanic. He said, what's that guy's name that's walking there? And he says, Joe. So he walked up there, and here was his Navy buddy they hadn't seen for 35 years.
Oh,
And so we got to know them, and then later on, we were down at the doctor's office in Johnstown, and our daughter was working for public service, and some fella come in, and he said, she asked if she could help him, and he said, yeah, I hope so. He said, I'm looking for a man that's called Henry Detterer, and she said, that's my dad. And he said, I'm one of his Navy buddies from Iowa. And so she said, well, you go to the house and I'll show you, at noon. So she called me and she said, Mom, don't answer the phone when, let Daddy answer it, because there's a surprise for him. And so she was really excited, and she came and had lunch with us then, and he opened the door and seen Jack, and he said, oh my God.
Yeah. Did he ever speak of what he went through?
Oh yeah, it was tough.
It was tough.
Yeah.
What was he in the Pacific, or?
He was on the Pacific. He was in the Philippines. He was in Guam, in Japan. He was 1 week in Hawaii,
I'm
but
going to
other
zoom in
than
on
that,
this.
yeah,
But, so these are some of the ships that he
Yeah.
was on.
yeah, he had to pull planes back and forth off the deck
Okay.
and put them down in the bottom of the ship. Then they'd have to put the wings up, and he said there was a lot of guys that got their head cut off because they got up to the propellers, it wasn't jets, they were all propellers. So
He was careful.
yeah,
He was verständig.
right, yeah. He said you bent real low when you crawled out.
And here's your little projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this, very organized. And your little quilts that you're making, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's been lovely again, part 2. Anything else for part 2?
Well, not really. I guess that's
You're not
about
going to
it.
sing, here's the organ. She's not going to sing on the organ for us, huh? But she did go to the Walker Manufacturing sing-along. And family photos, so that's what makes a home, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, thank you.
Thank